ladies and gentlemen, Pam Pybus. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, you're
This is great.
welcome. Thank you. I
Absolutely.
appreciate the opportunity.
You got the sweetest accent of anybody that's been on the show yet. So
Well, there
done.
you go. Yeah,
So-
straight from the South.
That's it. That's it.
Deep fried Southern.
So for those that don't know you, which is probably like 2 people that would listen to this show, because the whole inspection industry knows you, can you cue them in on who you are and what you're known for?
Oh, well, yeah, they know me because I've been around so long. That's it.
Is that it? Okay, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just old.
No, nonsense.
When
Age
I
is just a
started, my
number.
hair was brown.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, but you wear it so well with the silver now. So
Oh, it's platinum.
it's platinum. Well, you've earned it.
Yes.
Seriously,
Yeah,
yeah. I think you got to earn that one.
Uh-huh.
I've only got a few whites that are starting to come in here.
Yeah,
and
so
then
coming in, yeah.
that was enough to kind of just make me
do
feel a
you
little.
just brush the stuff in to
No,
try
no.
to yeah.
I'll wear them with pride. Seriously,
Okay.
you might as well.
Yeah, you might
So-
as well. Well, that's what happened to me. I actually started turning platinum when I was 25.
25.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, so I've been fully platinum since I was 40,
Okay.
and I'm 60. So
Nice.
20 years of full-on white hair.
So you haven't had to change your driver's license picture for 20 years.
Not really.
That's
no,
awesome. Good stuff.
why?
Yeah.
This is the color that came. Thank you, Dad.
There you go.
My father had gave me this hair. I think it has to do with brain activity.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's when it's really working in overdrive?
Yeah, mine runs all the time. Yeah,
That's-
so then anyway. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but juggling all the things that you got going on, and there's a lot. So you've got the radio show, right?
Yes, it is through our local NPR station.
Okay.
There in Central Mississippi, and we broadcast. We do pretty much the Southeast. So
Awesome. Okay.
if you're in Northern Florida, Southern Alabama, and then up around Memphis, and then we get into Arkansas as well.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You cover everything.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, this is a station that was, it's a regular radio station, and
Right.
they invited me to come on and be a guest on their Fix It 101 podcast radio show.
Okay.
And we take live callers, which is hilarious. So on Wednesday mornings at 9, we go into the studio, and it's cold calls. I mean, we have no idea what's coming. And some days it's just funny. People will call and ask us. And then we've got a contractor on the show as well.
So what's one of the craziest calls that you've gotten fairly recently?
Oh, wow. We had somebody call in, and these are DIY. This is a DIY channel, so it's just homeowners dealing with issues, and they wanted to know if goats would eat poison ivy.
They do though, but yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
And then we found out that there's a company that rents goats.
Oh,
so
man.
if you have poison ivy around your property, you just call this guy up. He brings his goats over, and game on. Yeah. So it's consumers. I mean, we're going straight to the consumer.
Well, yeah, and your marketing plan has kind of shifted more towards that, both with your inspection company, Inspect It Like a Girl, and then
Right.
also with the radio show. We were talking about that a little bit. It's you kind of pivoted from marketing to realtors to marketing to buyers and
Right.
homeowners.
Yes,
So-
buyers and homeowners, and some sellers to a certain extent. We didn't really get into that, and of course, the last couple of years, sellers had all the power, so they weren't going to pay for an inspection.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, we started going back, and I just have a passion for helping people, and that's why I'm a teacher pretty much. And so it was just it's an awesome experience for me to do a home inspection and then talk to people not only about these are some of the things we found in the house that you really want to pay attention to, but here's some things you could do to protect the value of your investment.
Absolutely.
And that's really become my niche. I get a lot of calls from listeners who might have an issue in the house and they want to know what's going on. And I've set myself up as an expert. Sometimes I just scratch my head and say, I don't know what's going on. I don't have any idea. But a lot of times I can help them figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
you got a wealth
then-
of knowledge.
Yes. And home inspectors do. We're smart people.
No, we don't. We are, seriously. I mean, I was talking about this fairly recently. I would love to get the industry to the point where, look, I love realtors. I've got so many realtor friends, but we work hard for our license too.
Right.
Right. And with all the CEs that we do and the continuing education and the tools that we have to invest in, thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And then we're called to sponsor events. I'm like, how about I host an event and I invite the realtors to come sponsor mine? Like, I had to work for this too. Come on now.
I know. I quit doing that a couple of years ago. And now that I've positioned myself in my market as an expert, they call me to come and do presentations. And I just make it real clear. I'm not buying your lunch. I will definitely come and talk to you about the process.
Right.
But yeah, most of my marketing now is I'm very social media driven.
Yes.
So we're sending people, and I cross market. So on my radio show, I talk about the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And on my podcast, I talk about the YouTube channel. So if they call, and we'll
Kind of
talk
cross-linking all of it.
all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want it all to kind of be interlinking. And what we do, we've even started putting the videos in our. I do a virtual link for the water shut off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you want to know how to find your water shut off, you just click this link in the report, and I have a YouTube video that's about 3 minutes long that talks about finding your water meter.
Yep.
And how to turn the water off. So that's kind of how I started on it, and then it just exploded. It just took off.
That's fantastic. No, I mean, well, you got a great voice for radio, you got this great personality, but then this wealth of knowledge to back all of it up. So you communicate it so well. I mean, it's no shock to me. So
Well,
I would
thank
listen
you.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
And I'm
you.
not just kissing ass so that I can get on the radio show.
Yeah.
Which I would love to do.
What
That
you
sounds
want
like
to
fun.
do? Yeah,
I do. Yeah, that'd be a lot of
I'll
fun.
have you on the radio show.
I'll come on
I
down to
talk to the
Jackson.
producers. They said, come on. Don't you have a grandmother down there?
I do. Yeah, she's down in Hattiesburg.
There you
So,
go. Yeah.
yep.
You
I'll
got to
take a
drive through
jaunt on.
Jackson to get to Hattiesburg. Come
That's
on.
it. No, I'll take a jaunt on down there and see her.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get a pecan pie out of it.
Oh, there
and,
you go.
And it is pecan. There's some weirdos up here that say pecan. And
Pecan. I don't know about these Yankees. No, pecan.
it's pecan.
Pecan.
My dad always taught me that pecan's what you do in the backwoods of Mississippi when there's not a restroom around. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah. so-
Exactly.
but anyway, no, that's awesome. So have you seen your business really grow from shifting more towards the buyer as opposed to realtors?
You know, there was a downturn whenever I started doing that.
Okay.
And I anticipated that. I had a feeling that would happen. But I had a vision for something that was going to happen way out here.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I needed to start.
Right.
So we started, and I'll be honest, my YouTube channel sucks.
It does not. First of all, she's being humble and self-deprecating. Okay. It does not.
Well, there's some on there that, it's a learning curve.
Right.
You got to learn how to do this stuff.
Oh, you do. Absolutely.
And I'm so old, Brad, that I have to have people tell me how to do it.
By the way, if they're listening to your show, first of all, what's the podcast name?
The podcast is Fix It 101, and you can download that on any podcast app. You can go to the NPR website and find it on there.
Okay, cool. And then for social media, where can they find you on there if they wanted to reach out or send you a message?
Well, there's so many different ways you can do that. We have a YouTube channel. That's probably the best one. You can just look at our YouTube channel. It's Inspect It Like a Girl YouTube channel. And like I said, we're starting to post videos and things that we want to help the consumer take care of their house.
Absolutely.
So we do gas shut off, water shut off. I have the one that I'm getting a lot of interaction around right now is giving your pipes a bath. And folks don't think. Did you see that one? Did you see?
I did watch that one. Yeah. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't either.
And I'm a home inspector, but it's,
I didn't. Listen. That happened because my plumber went out of town. He didn't ask me if he could go, so he goes out of town, and I had a clog, and I was having a bunch of people over, and I was like, "Holy, what am I gonna do? I can't." And so I tried. I didn't try chemicals. That's why I will not try chemical.
Okay.
I'm just not happy with chemicals.
Sure.
So I thought, I wonder if I boiled a bunch of water. So I got out 4 pots of water, and I boiled that water, and then I'd go over and I'd pour a pot into the drain, and then put a little Dawn.
Dawn. Yep.
Yep. I did that 4 times, and on the 4th time, the sink went whoosh. I was like, that is awesome.
God knows what was clogged up in there.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, you're doing dinner parties. What's your go-to dish that you make for everybody?
Oh, I have a chicken chili
Okay.
that I can knock out of the park.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Now, do you do it fairly spicy or like what do you do? Jalapenos?
I don't do a lot of spice. I put that on the side,
Mhm.
because people got different tastes.
They do. Yeah.
and they
Yep.
want something different. So, well, I got a question for you. Do you cook in that camper you got?
In the Airstream?
Yeah.
Some, but I haven't used its full capability.
Yeah.
You can use it like a full kitchen. So for those watching, I when Porch hired me on, I started traveling around training home inspectors and living out of my Airstream trailer, which I still have.
Now, what an awesome life. I
Oh,
want to
my
grow up and be
gosh.
like you. That's
It's-
awesome.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
so fun. So, but for inspection fuel here, I actually brought my dog, brought my Airstream, and
You've got
that's
your
where I'm staying.
dog?
I brought my dog with me. Yeah. So I do cook in the Airstream, but I was a Boy Scout back in the day.
Oh, nice.
And so I learned to do like the Dutch oven cooking and like
Yeah.
cooking over the fires and stuff
Oh,
like that.
yeah. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
I'm telling I would love to try to cook in a camper. I actually went. A friend of mine bought a camper. And
Okay.
so I drove over. This is kind of a funny story. So she's like, I bought this camper. I'm going to take my son across the country next year. I was like, that's awesome. So I go with her, pick this camper up. So I'm in the pickup with her, and it's 2 hours off.
Uh-huh.
All right. So we go all the way over there. We have a nice lunch over in Meridian, Mississippi. And we go look at this camper. It sleeps 8.
Oh my gosh.
It's enormous.
What
it's
was
like-
it, about 30 feet?
I was like, Jennifer, it's just you and Myers. What are you thinking? I mean, 8 people. But we picked up the camper. We bring it all the way back down to the pond because we're going to leave it down there because we got a house.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
We're going to leave it down there and park it down there. And we get it plugged in. And then the neighbors came over and we all just hung out in the camper.
Yeah, right. It's like you got the full house right there, but the cool
Yeah.
thing is the camper.
I know
Yeah.
we're like, the
Right.
house is right there, but we're all sitting in the camper.
There's
Well,
something about it. It really is. Yeah.
And I just, and actually we've rented a spot there in Jackson
Uh-huh.
in 2 weeks and we're all going to go give it a,
Oh, I love it.
give it a little dry run. But
Sure.
what was funny about that was that we did that on a Sunday. On Monday, she started feeling really bad.
Uh-huh.
She thought she had the flu.
There's mold in there probably, huh?
No, the camper was fine. She
Oh.
had COVID
Oh, no.
for the 4th time.
After everybody was hanging
yes,
in the camper.
after we're all sitting in the camper.
You were hotboxing COVID is what you were doing. So
It was, I
share
was
it
like,
with
we're a
everybody.
super spreader event right
Yeah,
here
yeah.
in the camper.
Oh my gosh, that's funny, man. Okay, so we're talking about kitchens and cooking and stuff. So inspecting old houses, what's the craziest thing that you've inspected in a kitchen? If you could think of it off the top of your head.
Probably those crazy blenders, that they would
Hmm.
build into the cabinets.
I haven't seen those.
You hadn't seen one?
No, uh-uh.
Probably, I think those are maybe from the 60s or something,
Okay.
where they have these really cool
Mhm.
kind of, what do they call that type of house, Brad? What is that? Mid-century modern.
Mid-century modern, yeah.
Mid-century modern.
I was thinking maybe it was like a 2-over-2 kind of a construction or
Yeah.
something. But
These are those long streamline houses, and then they would have this blender, and there's a contraption there on the cabinet,
Mhm.
and the motor is underneath.
oh my goodness. Okay,
So
yeah.
It's built in the cabinet, and so you take it and you have to set that blender on there, and then it works. Well, me trying to
Interesting.
figure out what that was whenever I saw it,
Uh-huh.
and now let me go ahead and tell you,
Do
applying.
you have to bring a blender with you to test that? Is that it?
I don't know where you go find one.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, no,
That's kind of like, okay, my neck of the woods, the old thing that they have built in, and maybe they do have these down south too, would be the whole house fans.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Such a bad idea.
But they still work.
Yeah.
It's- Yeah, I mean, they're noisy as all get out.
Oh
but-
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they'll suck you right out of the bed too.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what you're supposed to do with those things.
No.
Yeah, a whole house fan. You don't open all the windows and stuff. You open them about that much.
Just a little bit to get a little bit of fresh air in.
and I swear to God, it will go right over. I mean, it'll suck you right out of the bed. Well, those fans, they're very inefficient. So, but when I was a kid, we would raise that window up just a little bit and turn that fan on at night.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it frees you to death. And I'm talking July. And
Right.
it's because you're sweating and that air is going across your skin and you're like freezing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so I
amazing.
ripped mine out. Yeah, I took it out. I actually sealed my attic up. You can't get up there at all now.
Really?
There's
Did you
nothing
use
up
like
there.
a close or like was it the open cell?
I didn't
spray
use
foam now?
foam. No. And I talk to people on my radio show about this all the time. What we have to think about is keeping warm, moist air out.
Yes.
That's a southern thing.
Mhm.
That's our big deal.
Sure.
Is warm, moist air. Insulation is not going to solve that problem.
Air conditioning would.
Well,
Right.
not necessarily.
Okay.
Sealing the envelope is what you have to do. And those whole house fans, all you've done is create an open screen door.
Got it.
Well,
Right.
did your mother ever say to you, "You weren't born in a barn. Shut the door"?
How many times? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you've been leaving a
And
door
was,
open.
That was followed by my dad saying, "We're not heating the whole neighborhood." So,
Exactly. Is that well? Those fans, they let the air, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
That you're very inefficient on your air conditioning system if you do that.
yes, yes.
As much as you love the nostalgia, probably a bad idea. So I ripped mine out, and I used to
completely
listen to
sealed the
Doug
thing.
Rye. Do you know Doug Rye?
I don't. I
Are
can't
you
say I
too
do.
young for him?
Maybe a little bit.
He was called the Talk of Chalk.
Okay.
No, that's not right. Talk of Caulk. Why the hell would we talk about caulk
Yeah.
on this podcast?
Or he's
There
the cock
wouldn't
of the talk.
Yeah,
That's it,
who's
right?
the caulk? Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. This guy, but he talking about sealing.
What are you
Sealing
talking about
everything.
on here? Are we about to get like a rating on this, an
I
E
know.
rating on this? Is that come on, Pam? So, no, it's funny that okay, on that note, one of the best things that one of my favorite agents ever told me was that somebody walked in. She was doing like a video tour of a house, and this was a buyer that was out of town or something like that. And so she's videoing and showing them like all around the bathroom. And she goes, "Look at that sloppy cock." And somebody walks in like right as she's saying it. No context
Oh,
whatsoever.
man.
Yes.
Oh, she bless her.
Yeah. I mean, she was so red. But anyway, yes. Where were we going with that beforehand?
I have no idea.
Closing the envelope. And
Oh yeah, sealing up the envelope.
there was a guy that you said that I'm too young to know to listen to.
Doug Rye.
Doug Rye.
And he's deceased now. He lived in Arkansas, but he was all about sealing up the envelope. So I'll talk with my clients about, and these are the type of things that we have on our YouTube channel too.
Right.
Is your outlet is a hole. If you take that off, it's basically a hole in the wall.
Right.
So, and there's some things you can do, buy the little foam doohickeys, put
Uh-huh.
that in there and seal it up.
Right.
And then use the little baby, or there's, the little baby plug. I put that on all my exterior outlets
Okay.
because I had an old house and it's drafty. And I took, my house is it's vintage. It's a 1958,
Beautiful.
pretty much totally renovated. I did a little bit at a time because I like to do the work myself. But I took my energy bills. When I moved in, I was about, and really you need to go kilowatt hours, but I don't have that information. I just know I went from $250 a month, it's about 1,700 square foot house, down to a little over $100 a month
Okay.
on my energy bill.
Beautiful.
And it was just sealing stuff up and getting rid of all those drafts.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of work, a lot of time. But did it pay off? Were you able to see it in the bill?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I was planning on staying there.
Sure, sure.
I actually heat my house with wood.
Do you really? You got a
Mhm.
wood stove in there?
I have a wood stove. I love me a wood burning fireplace.
There's nothing like it, especially this time of year in the
I'm
fall.
telling you, it's awesome. But
Mhm.
see, in the South, number one, we don't know how to build the fireplace.
They're not very common.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then number two, we don't know how to build a fire.
Okay.
And then number three, they're energy suckers.
They are. Oh yeah. They take all the heat right out of the house like the chimney.
They just
hmm
right up there. That's why I like the wood stove because you shut the door.
Yeah, absolutely. Those things they're an oven. They just give off heat radiantly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, this thing, it
Beautiful.
heats the whole house. Actually, what I do is I throw all my wood in there and get it going. And I turn the fan on
Just to
my air
circulate that
conditioning
warm air.
system and it circulates it through the
Oh,
house.
that's a smart move.
Yeah. I
It's-
had a HVAC, and that's one of the things I used to do. I don't do it as much now, but hang out with some of these techs,
Uh-huh.
and find out what their tricks are.
It's fun to shadow them.
It really is.
Oh yeah.
I did that. I shadowed an air conditioning guy. I shadowed an electrician. You learn so much because they wanted to teach you.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm a girl too. So, and that's been my biggest challenge and my biggest blessing.
All at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, on that note, to the other female inspectors that would be listening, what would be the biggest piece of advice that you could give them to kind of close out the show with a word of encouragement on how to be successful as a woman in this workforce?
Well, what worked for me is I started focusing on I was a woman.
Sure.
Yeah, when I first
No,
started
don't shy
my
away from it. Yeah.
yeah, because that makes us different. I think Lisa with Ashy has those stats, but there are not a ton of women home inspectors. So what that does is that makes us different.
hmm
So when I started, when I changed the name of my company to Inspect It Like a Girl, I had a bump in my business because I was recognizable, one,
hmm
and then people found it humorous. So, and we'd get a call from men as, if you inspected like my wife, that's going to be a hell of an inspection.
right.
Yeah. So I did first.
But then you shocked them.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, it's all, it's just an opportunity. And that's what I like is, I can communicate with my clients
hmm
about, you got an awesome house here. These are the things you can do to take care of it. And I think also women like having me as their inspector, and my inspectors there in my office are all women. And well, I should say woman. It's just me and Haley. But they don't feel talked down to. They don't
Mhm.
feel like there's stuff going over their head. and we just talk to them one woman to another.
Well, and how frequent is it that you have a contractor that will come in and try to work one over on a lady if they see, oh, it's a single lady that owns this house, and suddenly the price goes way up?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we have, but we have that. I mean, people take advantage of people, and
Yeah.
it just, if you're like me, it just infuriates me whenever I hear one of those stories.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah.
About how people are being taken advantage of. And that's how I started my consulting business, was because people were getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So now what we do is we just follow whatever work they're having done in the house to make sure it's all done right.
Hey everybody, Brad here for ISN. I am so excited to tell you about a new app that we've spent years testing and developing with you, the home inspector, in mind. It's called the Porch app, and it's really going to allow you to differentiate yourself from all the other inspectors in your area because you've got something they don't have. This app is going to allow your clients to seamlessly manage all of the information in your report and in their home in a way that's going to keep you top of mind for years to come. And the best part of all, you get to offer this to your clients free of charge just because you use ISN. So how does this thing work? I'm so glad you asked. With this app, you'll be able to produce the inspection report just as you always have within your existing workflow. And the app will be available to your clients as an option on your ISN report delivery page. Once your client downloads the app, it will automatically pull the inspection report in and apply some advanced features that show your client the appliances and systems in their home, along with models and serial numbers. From the findings in your report, your client will be able to do things like creating a to-do checklist, and they can even use the app to keep track of information like paint colors and receipts, so all their important information about their home is available in one convenient location. The inspection report will always be available and shareable within the app. As your clients use this app on an ongoing basis to help manage their home, your brand will be featured so it's easier to remember to use your company in the future. The app will include a free recall check solution, a $90 value, so that way your clients can check the status of their appliances and systems absolutely free of charge. The app will also help your clients plan their move and find home services and pros while providing guidance to keep their homes in top shape for years to come. Inside the app, your clients will find up to $500 in local gifts and offers as a welcome package. And you get all the credit because your inspection company is featured when the app is launched. Your branding and contact details, as well as your agents, will also be clearly visible throughout the app experience. So how will the app help you earn more money? Well, the app will automatically send a push notification to your clients 11 months after the initial inspection, asking if they're interested in scheduling their annual inspection with you. The app will also feature your ancillary businesses and help generate referrals. And by the way, your clients will still be able to download the PDF version of your inspection report within ISN's report delivery page. That way, the report will always be available to them regardless of whether or not they choose to use the app. It's entirely up to your client. So the app is just another way that Porch and ISN are coming together to create more value per inspection, all while creating happier clients. Together, we can help home buyers better manage their homes through an intuitive and effective home management solution, all while helping you grow your home inspection business. It's a no-brainer, and it's a game changer.